Hey, we are back in the building. Hey, shout out to everybody out there, man. Everybody all across the United States of America Incorporated, man. I got nothing but love for you. Man, shout out to everybody out there, man. David from No Compromise, James Youngblood. David, man, my bad, man. I worked a little late. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to explain it to you right now, David. You're probably gonna be laughing. But I had to work a little late. David, James Youngblood, Shawnee, Erica, Tasha, Luigi, Time is Tanya. Everybody out there, man. At the Court Plantation, man. Shout out to you, man. We about to talk about something really serious today. It may not seem like it, but it's gonna be serious today. Added pressure. We're gonna definitely talk about it. We're gonna talk about Bronny James in its entirety. So let's get it. Man, David, man, you know I gotta explain to you, man. I know I gotta hit my brother up. Man, look, we was having this conversation, and plus, I worked a little later, and I had to have a conversation with some of my sisters that work at the Court Plantation, man, because, it's just a lot of shiesty shit that's been going on, David, man. A lot of shiesty shit. And I'm going to talk about it at the end, and I'll explain to y'all what's going on. But right now, let's talk about LeBron James' son, Bronny James. He had a heart attack, man, which is a lot of the younger kids, man, these younger kids, man, they having heart attacks and shit early. I think a lot of it is due to medical apartheid. I think a lot of it there's different factors into it, but it's still added pressure. That kid did not ask to be LeBron James' son. He didn't ask to be here. So with him being here, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of pressure on him. You know what I mean? A lot of us don't agree with a lot of the shit that LeBron do, but at the end of the day, that is a black man and there's a black son. And that's a lot of pressure. And you notice Shaq's son kind of had the same thing going on with him. And I feel like a lot of this has to do with medical apartheid. I feel like a lot of it has to do with genetic annihilation. And it's just so weird to see these young kids having heart attacks and all these strokes and illnesses very young. But a lot of it is in the food. A lot of it is in all the shit that we ingest. A lot of it is not us taking herbs, but taking vitamins. Vitamins are byproducts. Get you some herbs. Find you a natural herbologist. Take the herbs, man, because it's very important. It's changed my life. And I think that's what we need to start doing. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of pressure being LeBron James' son. You got to look up to that hype. I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan's sons went through it too. They just didn't really give a fuck. But I'm pretty sure he really wants to please his dad, please his mom, and be good and do things accordingly. And everybody's watching you every 5 minutes, and you can't say shit, you can't do shit. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of pressure. You're like, well, why are you talking about this? Black folk. Sometimes we need to fall back and look at the whole perspective. I remember when niggas was talking shit about Bronny when he took that the white girl to the prom. Everybody, you gonna take? Okay, first of all, let me break this down to y'all. There's racism and then there's classism, right? I want y'all to leave messages and name me the last time you saw any broke white, black, Hispanic dating a Rothschild, dating a Rockefeller. dating someone of importance. The last person I know, and he wasn't broke and he was really famous, was Jay Electronica, shot out to the Nation of Islam, and he was dating a Rothschild. But Jay Electronica was already popping. He wasn't no broke nigga on the street, or he just wasn't nobody that financially could not be at a certain level. And I'm going to repeat it again. I want y'all to really follow what I'm saying. There's racism and there's classism too. But within that classism infrastructure, Bronny James is going to be around people that got money. He's not going to be around people, for the most part, that don't have no type of capital. I'm not saying that black folk don't have money. Follow what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's not in the South. He's not on the East Coast. He's not in the DMV, where the probability of him finding some black royalty would be higher than there. And he's in Hollywood. And didn't I just give y'all the statistics on 62% of white households own homes and 19% of black households own homes? So you take that 19%, if he's in the 19%, but the 62% or 60% is dominant society, there's a likely chance that he's going to meet somebody outside his race that has money that could do and partake in all those things. I'm not saying that white people aren't clout chasers. I'm not saying that white people don't do sucker shit. They do. They are the masters of confusion. We know that, as David from No Compromise says it, as Neely Fuller Jr. says it. They are. But what I'm saying is, when you're talking about tax brackets, it's highly unlikely he's just gonna date the most gorgeous black sister, right? If she doesn't come from something, if she doesn't have equity in the game, if she doesn't have capital, if her parents are not clout chasers, you gotta understand, they're protecting $1 billion brand. So that did not surprise me. Well, that's fucked up. Well, it would be different if he was in Atlanta. If he was in Georgia, there's a lot of black royalty out there. There's a lot of wealthy black families that are out there in Georgia. See, that's different. If he was in the DMV, I'm pretty sure he could find nice, wealthy black families out there. If he was in Texas, the same thing. Even in California, I'm pretty sure he can find the same thing. But the likelihood of where he's positioned and where he is, nah, not to me. Compared to all the wealthy black families in the South, in the DMV, and on the East Coast, no. So it didn't surprise me. And I saw all these people going in on him. I was like, damn, why does that surprise you? Look, them same people would have been talking shit if he would have took a sister to the prom. Look at him taking this ugly bitch to the prom. Like, we don't win. And that's why I just be like, a lot of the times I be like, I'm always like, why are we so critical of each other? You know what I mean? And you know, like, what do you mean? I mean like this. Why are we so quick, right? Why are we so quick to demonize and vilify this kid who is in $1 billion empire? That's not on him. You know, he's gonna go probably with what is likely palatable for his family, because nigga, it's $1 billion industry. I don't think people know how to understand. I don't want people to agree with me, but I'm gonna keep it all the way above. You don't see Rothschilds hanging out with broke white people either. You don't see the Rockefellers just hanging out with some Joe Blow motherfucker. Nikki Hilton, Paris Hilton's sister, married a Rothschild. Nikki Hilton is not marrying no motherfucking Danny Bonaducci. I'm just keeping it a buck. That's how it goes. And we have to understand that and know exactly what the fuck is going on, and stop putting this added pressure on him. And now everybody want to feel bad for the kid because he had a heart attack. Well, y'all wasn't feeling bad when y'all was talking shit about him. That was probably just his friend. He probably ain't even dating that white girl. It's probably just his friend. Oh, so everybody he got to have around him is black. We need to start looking past what we can't see. See, you don't have access to billions of dollars, so you don't know who's in their inner circle. You don't know who's around. Y'all can't go to no fucking Laker game and sit next to Phil Knight and talk to Phil Knight the whole time. No. Phil Knight wouldn't even look at you. They're in circles you would never be in. So you have to understand that. Let's break it down church-wise, because you know black folks love church. If you go to church and the bishop's at the church, it's highly likely you're not going to be invited to the bishop's house to eat dinner or the pastor's house to eat dinner, because there's a social hierarchy, and there's inner circles within inner circles. So that's why I'm like, damn, they was going hard on him. Now they feel bad for him. Well, we don't know what type of stress this brother's being put up under. He's representing his dad every time he look and say a certain thing. Oh man, you gotta be like your dad, man. You ain't better than your dad, man, because you know your dad was doing it. I'm pretty sure he hear the bullshit all the time. And then we don't know what he's eating. We don't know, you know what I'm saying? The shit is in the water, atrazine all in the water, because yes, California get their shit from Lake Mead too. So it's like all this added pressure, you don't know what this kid is going through. You know what I mean? And everybody want to be thumbs of America and type some shit, talk shit about a motherfucker, but you don't even really understand what's going on. Yeah, I know sometimes I could be critical. I'm critical of LeBron James's moves as far as other black folk when he's on teams with them. And I get it, you're politicking because you're trying to maintain your billions and all that, but sometimes don't prostitute your integrity for, you know, to position yourself and look a certain way. And don't alienate your friendships. That's all I'm saying. I'm just on the outside looking in, but that's just what it looked like. I don't know LeBron personally. I'm just saying what it is. And that's just things that we got to look at. And another thing I wanted to talk about is just look at his son and see the amount of pressure that's being put on black athletes today. Now he's got $1 billion. He's got $1 billion backing him. Imagine the young black athletes today that don't even have that, what they're going through. Imagine that. There's young black athletes that done had a heart attack on the court. Don't nobody even know. Don't nobody even care. This is a big time, I would say, lesson, because they're only talking about it because he's LeBron James' son. Just imagine if he wasn't LeBron James' son. We wouldn't even be talking about it at all. So I really think, look at all the black, look at Shaq's son had a hard situation. We really start to, there should be a time where we start to be like, okay, something is not right. And no, it ain't just what LeBron James' son is eating and Shaq's son is eating. Something is not right, man. Because these young black athletes, man, are having heart attacks, strokes. Look at that brother that had that heart attack on the field. Come on. Then they just kept playing, you know, like at first they were about to keep playing like it wasn't nothing. Something is not right with our young black athletes, man. Something is not right. I don't care what none of y'all say. It's just not right. That was unheard of in the 80s and the 90s for our black athletes to just be dropping from heart attacks and strokes and all this other stuff. Let's get our mind right. Let's read How to Eat to Live by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Put your religious beliefs to the side. Just listen to what the man got to say. You know, I've been watching this documentary on Hillsong with Pastor Carl Wentz, right? Or Lentz, whatever. The white dude that was pastoring Justin Timberlake, and he was everywhere real quick. And then, you know, he messed up, you know what I'm saying? He had a little something on the side, and they, like, persecuted him. I'm like, man. And then the head pastor, Brian, I forgot his last name, the head pastor or whatever. Y'all got to go watch. It's on Hulu. This motherfucker condemned Carl, talked all kinds of shit. He ain't like me, and get your ass the fuck up out of here. And his daddy that started the church was a pedophile. And then his ass was trying to take pussy throughout the church. And to me, that made it even more like, wow. And then you had these black people going to this church, and they like, hey, well, the praise team need to reflect, you know, the diversity here. First of all, let me say something to black folk. Black folk, y'all know good goddamn well, you work at these corn plantations, and there's an illusion of inclusion. Now, why the fuck would y'all go to their churches and not think that it wasn't going to be no illusion of inclusion? Black folks just go run anywhere and want some type of bullshit savior from the dominant society. I want to jump through that damn TV screen and tell all them black folks, if y'all don't get y'all black asses out that church and go find you a black church to go to, man, stop. Y'all know it was gonna be like that. Y'all know how white folk are when it comes to that power and leadership, and black folk are the same way. Then they gonna get mad when oh well, it wasn't no diversity, so and I was volunteering. I said, boy, these black folks don't even want to volunteer to give out food to the homeless, but you'll volunteer at this white church because you think you'll get something. Then when you didn't get what you want, oh, fuck these motherfuckers, stop. That's what I'm talking about, added pressure. What you doing at this church anyway? Well, I went to Pastor Carl, and he just doesn't follow through. I wanted to tell this elderly black lady, like, why did you just go to a black church? What are you doing going to that church? They're not going to accept you, not the way you think they are. Most black folks are not accepting of each other. So why would these people accept you? No, you know better than that. You just thought you was going to do something different and politic your way to the top. People be doing that. No. I'm just saying, it's a lot. That's why I was having this conversation with one of my sisters at the Court Plantation. I have them with all the time with sisters at the Court Plantation. I was just telling them, I was like, look, man, some people just are here to do the devil's work. They're here to go to the Court Plantation and dry snitch and do shit and get a pat on the head. And she was like, what you mean? I said, sometimes you have head mammies in charge. People that just, mammy it up or sandball and coon it up. And that's what you got to look out for and have an understanding of. And we had a great conversation, man. My bad, David, man. We was, because she was one of my homegirls. She was just, stressed out, sad. Like, why they act like that? Because it does something to you when you work around your own people and they treat you like shit. It does something to you. I'm not finna lie and act like it don't. It does. But once you have been socialized, like, you know what, that's just how my people are. I love them. I just love them from a distance. Then you can kind of get over. But some people, it's hard for them. And one of my sisters was like, not my blood sister, but, she reached out and I said, look, this is just how it is. She was like, damn, you. I'm like, I'm used to it. I get it all the time. I remember I worked with a sister. This was years ago. Shout out to Nuke. Nuke know who I'm talking about. Roxanne, aka Sister Cobweb, shout out to her too. She know who the fuck I'm talking about. They know who it is. I ain't gonna say her name. I forgot the shit anyway. But this girl, she was cool or whatever. And, say hi and bye. But then when she get around certain people, she wouldn't speak. And she would do sucker shit. Then one day, she was in a big time meeting with one of my homegirls' aunties, who was a big time boss to this day at a Court Plantation. And she's like my play auntie. Like, she just took a liking to me. And plus, I knew her niece for damn near 20 years. And she didn't know I knew her niece, but once she found out, she was, her niece was like, oh, that's Warren. That's the homeboy. She was like, all right, cool. Well, if he cool with you, then he gonna be my nephew. So she's always treated me like that. And long story short story long, one day they was having a big meeting. And yes, Warren is a jokester. I just walked in that motherfucker and started eating. Well, the people that knew me was laughing. Because the people that knew me is like, this is what Warren do. He don't give a fuck. So first thing my homegirls like to say is, nephew, what you doing in here? I was like, oh, y'all can keep going with y'all meeting. I just want something to eat. Well, there was a particular girl in there that would only speak to me when nobody was around. When people was around, she'd act like she didn't know me. Once she saw I knew that big boss, and me and her was like family, then she wanted to start to continue to speak to me again. And when I told the homegirl this story, she was like, damn, I said, man, there ain't nothing I ain't seen at these Court Plantations. Sometimes black folk, as this dude, Bobby Glenn Tom Smith, said on Zoe Williams' podcast, he said, the oppressed take on the worst characteristics of the oppressors. And that's the illest shit I've ever said, I've ever heard somebody say. So, David, that's what we was talking about, James Youngblood. That's what we was talking about. My bad, David, man. The time, and plus I was working extra, working a little over, to get shit situated. But, man, people will come to me and have those conversations, and I say it ain't for you to hate your brother or your sister. It's just for you to understand who they are and just get the fuck away from them. And let them play that Maslow's hierarchy of needs bullshit. You know what I mean? Because I don't do that. I just kind of keep to myself and do my own thing. I don't have time for that shit. It's too time consuming to do that in the first place. But anyway, think about the added pressure. Think about the added pressure in your life. That get up, go to work, pay your bills. Bills don't stop coming. It isn't like they give black folk, okay, black folk, we're going to give y'all 6 months and no bills. You know what I mean? So that's just thing I'm talking about. But y'all think about it. Y'all think about the added pressure in your life. And y'all tell me what y'all think about LeBron James. Tell me what y'all think about what I said about, the social stratification and the circles and all that. And I'm not making no excuses for him. I don't know the inner circle and if he knew that white girl now. I just was laughing because I was looking at these people like, and if your daughter went to the prom with him, would she be fucking clout chasing and doing Instagram posts that she going to with LeBron James' son, or would she act normal? I don't know. I don't know. But I just know, I'm going to say it again. Nikki Hilton, Paris Hilton's sister, married a Rothschild. Not no Danny Bonaducci or no sucker ass motherfucker. So I'm telling you, this is what they do in them circles. Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.